Shauna, this is Shauna's World. Welcome back to my channel where I make videos about living intentionally. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Today I am in the Cairngorms National Park at Glen Shee, about to go on a half marathon distance run. So I have a couple of ultras coming up later this year and I needed to get some mountain running in, so I'm staying with my running coach at the moment, Toby, and we've come for the day to do a big run in the mountains.
Before we got running, we had to make the most of the Glen Shee Ski Centre cafe and fuel up on chips.
So we've set off and it's a couple of centimetres of snow on the ground, just patchy, and it's really beautiful. Oh, I love being in the mountains, it's so rare I get to spend the time here. And we're setting out to do around a half marathon today, and I think it's going to be hard because I'm still getting over jet lag and I'm not used to the mountains, but I'm very excited for where they're going to take me. Yeah. So this is an infinity pool, which on a different day I would definitely come for a dip in.
Of course, with all these mountain miles, fueling is very important, and I had the experience of trying one of Morton's unflavoured gels for the first time.
I've never had these before, and it's so lumpy.
They're weird, yeah. They're weird.
Is this one of the unflavoured ones?
Yeah.
I really wanted to try it, but it's a no from me. And people like them.
I mean, no, it's a bit of an acquired taste, I'd say. So the first time I had them, I was like, yeah, this is a bit... But, oh, careful. It's all over your gloves. But, they are really good when... you've had loads of gels, you know, for hours and hours, but maybe not for you. I mean, they are an acquired taste.
I've not acquired the taste, and I like everything. I'm not a picky eater. Okay, we did it.
The fuel's inside you.
So we're going seriously uphill now. So yeah, apparently I have to stop wearing what it looks like on Strava and just climb a mountain slowly, because that's how you have to go up a mountain. But I'm not used to this. It's really nice to be out. We're walking all through like heather everywhere, snowy capped mountains, and the weather's beautiful. It said it was going to be shit, and it's absolutely magical. I think it'll be cloudy at the top, but for now it's glorious. So we've just come up right from the bottom and it was disgusting. I was so out of breath, and I'm going to have to do this over 50 miles up lots of hills. But one thing I noticed, I was dying out of breath, but my legs felt strong, and Toby keeps setting me hill sessions and they're obviously working on my legs, just not quite yet on my lungs. But it feels good to be at the top and see the world.
As we got closer to the top of the ascent, it got pretty snowy, which made it tough underfoot. But it was also incredibly special to be out in the snow, seeing the wild and rugged landscape covered in white.
We made it to the top, and that was the biggest climb of the run, and it very much was not a run, it was a hike. One of the kilometres took 42 minutes, but it was great, it was hard, and now I think it's going to get a lot more runnable, but we made it through the hard bit. It's so nice to be running again after that long trudge up the hill, and the snow is so lovely to run through. I do not get this in southwest England. Oh, it's so beautiful. place, Cairngorms Place. And I just managed to avoid a freak out about the fact that I'm not going at a million miles an hour through the mountains in the snow. Toby's been trying to convince me it is a bit different running in the Scottish mountains to what I'm used to. So I'm just trying to manage my expectations around my pace, and it's so, so beautiful. So I'm just leaning into the views. Not finding this easy. We're about 10.5 kilometers in, and yeah, I'm at the point where I'm like struggling quite a lot. There's a potential chance there's a storm coming in. There's a massive cloud, but I just keep reminding myself how lucky I am to be here and how much I look forward to this. But I am finding it really, really hard. I am not used to the mountains. So I've just noticed we're completely surrounded by fog and cloud after it being really clear up until now. And we're trudging to the top of a hill. I've gotten to the point where I really wish I had poles, which is the next thing to get on my agenda. And I've been delaying it because I've been deciding which ones to get. But this is making me go, I need to sort that out now. Earlier in the run it was okay hiking up the first hill, but now I'm just tired. But I'm still feeling joy, but tough joy.
It's amazing how much spirits live when you get to the top of the hill.
As you can see, or can't see, the visibility is nothing. It's just me in the ether in a cloud of fog. That's where we've just come from, up there. Last bit down. I think this will be my first time running with spikes.
Oh, yeah. Well, up underneath you have to kind of kick it.
So this is going to be my first time running with spikes. They look intense, but I think it's going to make my life easier. I am liking running in spikes. I feel a lot more in control of my running than I did before. I was sliding all over the place. I mean, I don't know when I'll be back in the mountains, but I want to make sure I've got these. This is how much ice is stuck to the bottom of my spikes. But we made it to the bottom. Yeah, we had to cut it a little bit short at the top because the weather really came in and we'd been out longer than we intended, or would have been out longer than we intended if we finished the half marathon route. But we made the right decision because the weather looked really horrendous. I think if we carried on up there it would have felt very hairy, but it was a beautiful route, and yeah, really grateful to have been out in the mountains, have Toby as my guide, and just experience the Scottish snowy mountains.
Well, I'm back at Toby's house. It's been a really good day. Just had some pizza and getting cozy. I need to have a shower still. But it was a really, really wonderful day out on the mountains, and Toby's been phenomenal. He didn't want to be in the video, but I just want to big up what a support he's been, because I'm not used to mountains. And I nearly had a total meltdown because I was like, we're going so slowly, and I really felt kind of like I wasn't fit enough and all of this. And I think there's so much in the running world that, like, what's expected, the pace a runner to run is like made from road runners. And I started running as a road runner. I ran 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons and marathons, and that's all about the pace. And you don't really walk, or if you walk, it's seen as like not a proper thing. But mountain running, it's just so normal to do that.
Oh, I have a cat on my foot. Hi, Timmy. So I'm really working on getting out of that mindset, because I think trail runners walk, mountain runners definitely walk. I could not have run that much today. Like, we walked all the uphills, and some of even the flat and the downhill were a bit too icy, but we ran as much as we can, but it was just a really slow pace, and that's fine. But I just think in the running world in general, it's normal for mountain runners to walk, but no one really talks about it. And when I tell people, like, I'm training for ultras and that I walk on the uphills, they're like, oh, you know, especially non-runners, they're really like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. No one talks about it. And I really think that's a thing. And I think sometimes I can be really self-deprecating about how slow I run and stuff. And I think that's because of this expectation that runners run the whole time. But I really want to normalise talking about going slow and walking when needed, because that's what the mountains are about. And even Kilian Jornet, the top mountaineer runner of all time, yeah, he's going to walk in bits, and that's just normal. And I just want to talk about it so people who go out in the mountains feel a bit less alone, because I think for me, I haven't, all of the people we see in the mountains are generally the top mountaineers who run most of it. And most people who go out in the mountains are people like me, and it's really normal not to be able to run all of it. And there's a fine line between hiking and running, and that's okay. And I just need to stop pressuring. And I feel like I'm over explaining it because I maybe feel a bit self-conscious, and I don't. I just feel like people have a perception of how things should be, and I do get a bit self-conscious, but I want to overcome that because I really did the best I could out there today, and I had a phenomenal time. I mean, we did have to end it a bit early, partly because we've been going slow and partly just because the weather took such a turn. It was really, really thick cloud and fog up on the mountain, but we got round nearly 16 kilometres, so a bit under what we intended, but it was a beautiful day out. Really felt like I was connecting with the mountains, and so nice to be out in snow. I do so little of that. And really nice to be out with Toby, who's just the most phenomenal coach, and I'm really grateful for him. But he coaches on an online run club, so we don't have that much chance to run together. And it was just, yeah, a lot of fun. I've said that a lot of times. It's funny because when I was living in London, I really wanted to move out of London so I could have, well, for lots of reasons, but partly so I could have more interesting running. And now I'm in Devon, I'm loving it there, loving living there, loving the running more than London, but coming to the mountains is like, oh, this is a whole new level of running. And I want to do more of this, and there aren't really mountains near. I've got Dartmoor, which has some good hills, but now I'm like, oh, I want to be in the mountains, and I just have to not, because I really like the community in Devon, and there's always going to be another place the grass is greener, but I am going to try and come to the mountains more. I'm really looking forward to running the Lakeland 50 in July. And this, you know, I decided to do this run today with Toby because I don't get a lot of mountain training in, and I want to get as much in as possible before I run 50 miles in it. So it's really worthwhile to do it just for the experience and the training. And it took its toll on my body in quite a big way, but kind of in a good training way, and kind of doing what I need it to do. I feel my feet getting stronger, my back hurt a little bit, but I can feel my legs are getting stronger from all the hills I've been doing in training. So overall, it just felt really good. It was tough at times, but I was so glad to be out there with those spectacular views and the cold. It was really special. So I'm going to leave that here today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.